Yes, let us wait for a minute. Let other people join. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unacademy Summit 2020. This is to let you know that how to pursue your UPSC dreams. Now, there will be a 3-day conclave for civil services aspirants. This summit will let you know fully that what should be your proper steps and strategy to clear your IS examinations. Now, the topic which I am going to discuss today is how to choose an suitable optional subject. And there I shall let you know that how this philosophy has become the most suitable and safest subject for almost guaranteed success in central services examination. So, to proceed, now there is one very important question that comes in the mind of every serious IS aspirants. And the question is that which optional subject to choose for UPSC CSE? This is a question which poses a serious problem to every serious IS aspirants. Reasons why does this question pose a problem to IS aspirants? Reasons are two. Number one, that every one of you have come to know by now that this optional subject decides how you will clear the examination. This is the decisive subject for you. And second, when you choose a right option, then in a way you are just going to cross half of the journey. Because there, what you need now, the strategy which you will be preparing and completing the optional subject. So, the best option, since the question is the best option is one, what is the best optional? That will be a question before you. And the best optional is one which supports to achieve your goal to score high marks and clearing examination. This will decide which subject, which optional is the best option for you. Then you are first required to know as to what are those features which make a subject most suitable for you. The subject which can serve this purpose to support you to score high marks and to clear this IS examination. So you must know that first you must know that what are those features which a subject must have to give you proper support, which I have talked about. They are as follows. Features of a safe and suitable optional. Listen carefully. The first is that the subject, optional subject, should be easily comprehensible. Subject should be easily comprehensible, one can easily understand the contents of the subject, because so that students coming from any stream can easily understand the contents of the subject, so that one may not feel any uncomfortable in understanding things of the subject. So this is the first requirement, condition of a suitable optional for you. The second is that the syllabus of the subject should be short. The optional should have short syllabus which can be prepared within 4 to 5 months time, because because the total schedule for IS examination is 1 year, is only 1 year. It is supposed that you complete your 3 levels of examination within a year. So you cannot spend more than 4 5 months time in preparing your optional. So this within 4 and 5 months, only that optional can be prepared and completed, and of which you can have the full grip when that optional subject has its short syllabus. So this is the second criterion of a most suitable optional for you. The third is high marks fetching. What works? What is important? The important is the mark. That decides your career. How much marks you obtain in the examination, that will decide which place in the list you are going to have. So that's why the subject must be very, very marks fetching. The fourth one is that when you have to select such optional which can help you also in preparing your GS papers, your essay, because these are also very important parts of this mains examination, because they will also add some marks to you. Then the last, the subject must be interesting, so that you may feel comfortable. You may feel comfortable in the subject. It should not be a load, a burden on you, that somehow you are going to complete the subject. That should not be the attitude and the spirit. So for that, it is very important that the subject which you are going to choose must be very, very interesting. So these are the 5 points that you have to consider in selecting an optional subject for your IS examinations. What are those? Number one, easily comprehensible, short syllabus, high marks fetching, helping to prepare other GS papers and essay, and last, it must be very, very interesting. So the question is, then the question is that to which optional fulfills these conditions, these 5 conditions? This will be your question now. None but, the answer will be none but philosophy. None but philosophy. It is only philosophy that fulfills all these conditions which I have laid down and which all of you know. Only philosophy can fulfill these conditions of a most suitable optional for a guaranteed success in central services examination. Why? The reason is why this philosophy has become the most suitable subject. Why and how this philosophy is going to fulfill these conditions. Number one, the contents of philosophy are so familiar to everyone that a student coming from any streams can offer this subject as his optional. He can understand the contents of the subject philosophy very easily. Why? Because in philosophy, what we do and what we generally discuss in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, we discuss some such problems as God, self, world, right, wrong, good, bad, responsibility, euthanasia, professional ethics, capital punishment, gender equality, and so on. We also have awareness of some important religions like Jainism, Buddhism. We are also aware of some political and social issues such as equality, liberty, justice, monarchy, anarchy, humanism, secularism, caste discrimination, and so on. So the point is that one who had little bit of knowledge is aware of all these issues which I have just explained to you. And you will be happy to know that all these are form the contents of philosophy. So in philosophy, you are going to study these topics, the topics with which you are aware, you are already aware. At least some awareness that you must have of all these topics which I have mentioned here. So this philosophy fulfills the first condition of a most suitable optional subject, that it contains are such which can be easily comprehensible, because you all are very much aware of these topics which are there. So, what philosophy does? Philosophy presents a systematic study of all these topics and subjects which are here. That's the main point that you have to see. That it will present a systematic presentation, it will do. And then at the same time, what philosophy does? Philosophy will provide a rational basis to discuss these topics logically. So that what philosophy is going to do for you. So someone, so what you find, that someone who had little bit of knowledge, he is aware of the topics which are there, and these topics form part of the syllabus of philosophy. So philosophy fulfills the first condition of a most suitable optional for IAS examination. Now we find that there are the syllabus of philosophy, the second condition which this philosophy is going to fulfill, and that condition is that the syllabus of philosophy is very short and condensed. How? Look, there are four branches of philosophy: metaphysics, epistemology, logic, and ethics. There are four branches of philosophy, and you will be surprised to know that only two branches, this metaphysics and epistemology, they, and not even full, rather in part, these two branches are included in your syllabus. This ethics is the branch of philosophy which is complete your GS4. See what philosophy is going to give you. So a student who offers philosophy as an optional can have the full grip of GS4 ethics, integrity, and attitude. Because this is the branch of philosophy, my dear students, you just know that this is total. Even in that, say, paper, there is one also independent unit, that philosophy and moral philosophy of both East and West. So, what you find that in every chapter you will be having that idea of the philosophy, and every philosopher, every philosophical system which you will be studying in the syllabus, that philosophical system will also speak on that ethical ideas which are included in the GS4 paper. So this is the first thing that you find here. This logic, which is your this fourth branch, that you are studying in your CSAT paper in the name of logical reasoning. So what you find that your this philosophy will help you at every stage of this IS examination. Not only in this optional, rather everywhere you will find this subject stands just by the side of you to support you how you can clear this examination. So the point is that these two are only the branches which are included in the syllabus of philosophy. That's why philosophy syllabus had become very, very short, and it is very, the size of syllabus of philosophy is almost one third. You will be surprised to know, but you can compare that the syllabus of philosophy is almost one third of the syllabus of other subjects, because other subjects you also know how vast that subject is, that it is not possible to prepare the thing in this 4 months, 4 5 months time, because that has become the time limit for you. But definitely this subject you can prepare very easily, because you have to prepare this metaphysics, epistemology, that sort of thing that you are required to do. So this philosophy serves your this purpose just because of its short syllabus. And then what you find? You find the ethics, which is the third branch of philosophy. It complete GS4, which I have just explained to you. So what you find that since the syllabus of philosophy includes only metaphysics and epistemology, that's why its syllabus has become so short that you will be surprised to know, I am telling you, that even setter faces the problem to set the questions, because he has to set the question almost 17 18 on 17 18 topics, which you know. That's the issue. And so what I do and why my students do, they beforehand guess certain topics, and you will be surprised to know that those topics come in the examination in sequence sometimes. So this is the benefit of the short syllabus that philosophy has. So you must think very seriously to offer this subject philosophy. Now the next one is philosophy is high marks fetching. That's the most important criterion to select an optional subject, that all of you know. And it will be you will be happy to know that philosophy subject is high, very, very high marks fetching. Reasons? Reasons are here. Number one, that the contents of philosophy are fixed. What Plato has said years before, that is true even today, in the same form, in the same side, because this is one thing that in philosophy there is no question of updating things, because no new things come which can be added to the syllabus of philosophy, and it is done in other subjects, because in other subjects every time some new things come up, and this UPSC tries to include those new things in the syllabus of other subjects. But here in philosophy, things are so fixed that once you have studied certain points of any philosopher, say Plato, Aristotle, they are with you for all times to come. No change, no new thing is to be added. So that's the very important, help that a student can have by offering this philosophy as a subject in scoring high marks. The second point, why you can score high marks in philosophy, it is that this philosophy is objective in its status. That is, it is not the case that you have to just present your own certain points to add there. No, nothing of that sort. So it is not the case that will differ and make you feel diffident to write certain things, because everything is objective. Only 5 points you have studied in theory of ideas of Plato. You just write 5 points and get 70% marks. not even 69% marks. That's the point that you are getting in this subject philosophy. And the third reason why this philosophy is high marks fetching is this, that here every point that a philosopher makes is based on logic. So once you know the reason, once you know the basis why that view had been established by a philosopher, you can score very high marks. So these are the three reasons why this philosophy has subject has become high scoring. Number one, that contents of philosophy are fixed. So you are oversure that whatever you are going to write, that is 100% correct, the answer which you are going to give. Number two, it's objective. So there is no point that somebody will write better and worse. That's not the case. The objective thing is there, which you know. And the third reason why it is high scoring, logical. That is, it is based on certain logic, certain argument, and the time you understand the argument, you write the argument that it is on this basis that philosopher is going to substantiate this view, marks in abundance. So I always tell my students, don't beg for marks from examiner. You command the examiner to give the marks because this what is the subject you are going to study. So philosophy is high marks fetching. Then philosophy gives full support. This gives full support to prepare GS papers and essay. It's also very, very helpful to every one of you that what happens. This GS4 ethics is a branch of philosophy which I have already explained. There are four branches of philosophy: metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, and logic. So GS4 ethics is a branch of philosophy. So the in the syllabus, whatever philosophical systems and philosophers you are going to study, they all will give their own ethical views. So you are aware of them, and these ethical views you have to study there in GS4 ethics. So see how philosophy is going to give you full support for a full paper that hardly any other subject can do. And then a student of philosophy has full background of this paper. And second, paper 2 philosophy, in its first section, that is known as social and political philosophy, there you are going to study some social issues. There you are going to study some social issues like secularism, humanism, punishment, gender equality, caste discrimination, and so on. And these which you will study in philosophy, these which you will study in philosophy, they form part of your GS paper 1 in the name of social issues. So see how this philosophy is going to help you even in GS paper 1. GS paper 4 is just you will have the grip of that paper very easily when you are studying or opting this philosophy as an optional. And the second, this part also comes there in the name of social issue in GS paper 1. So this is very important to know that yeah, everything I'm telling, yeah, Thomas is asking one question, sir. How much time it will take to cover philosophy syllabus for UPSC options? It will take hardly 3 to 4 months, not more than that, because you know the syllabus is so short that when you become serious to give even 3 hours time daily, you can complete it in 3 4 months time. The second question is by Unkar. Sir, why do only few students choose philosophy as optional? Well, the reason is that they do not know what philosophy subject is. So what happens that when one is unaware, what the general feeling is, Omkar, the general feeling is that people think that, oh, philosophy, it must have some subtle things there to study. philosophy, it must be something, religious kind of thing. A philosophy, it must be some mystical kind of thing. This sort of false ideas that general people and students have in their mind. And that becomes the reason that they think that better go and study these things. So that's the not having the correct idea of the nature of philosophy, that just students go for other subjects. And that's why today I have got this opportunity to let all of you know openly that this is philosophy. The contents of philosophy which I have discussed, Omkar, they are such topics which at least you must also be aware of them. So nothing more you are going to study in philosophy. So you can better judge now that since people do not know about the nature of philosophy and the contents of philosophy, they just have list choices for this. But once you know, then this subject, the only subject for which you will go, I'm sure about it. So, so nevertheless, what you find, this is the second support which this philosophy is giving in your preparing your DS paper. The first support is that DS paper 4 complete support you are going to get. Yeah, Durgesh Shukla, I fully agree with sir. What the talk, philosophy optional, serious students may contact me for mutual benefit for preparation. I have taken coaching from Patanjali faculties. Itna. Anyway, Durgesh, never you take that from anywhere. That's the different point. But the point is that there should be two things. Always remember in preparing optional, that from whatever coaching you just take help, the matter and the contents must be number one, authentic. Number two, all core factors must be there in your notes content. If any one of these two lacks, be sure you cannot get high marks. And that who can do? Only a person who has lived in the subject. I'm not comparing anybody. I'm just telling what I am. I lived in philosophy. I was university professor and head and got the special training in IIT Kanpur. I'm a gold medalist just talking to you. And so there is no one here who is from the subject to teach philosophy. So that makes lot of difference, right? And so what I am telling you that these are certain things which you have to take care when you are studying any subject, not only philosophy, that your content should be perfect. Now, so you got my point, sir. Please guide us regarding booklet and your that. Yes, I just I provide notes here, and these notes are especially structured for you for IS examination. No need to read any further book. This is my guarantee. Listen my lecture, read my notes, sit in the examination, score more than 300 marks. That's finished. Yeah, Ganesh is asking how you are different is shown by your age and interest, sir. I truly appreciate your passion for the subject. Thank you. Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now, you see, philosophy is a very interesting subject. Now, what you find, yes, the third point is waiting for you. It's all surprising that the setter of essay paper, I do not know to what extent he is also influenced by this subject philosophy. But every year, you will find that some topics of your philosophy paper too, they are set by the setter in the essay paper. For example, one problem will be there from gender equality problem, which you study here in your paper to philosophy, right? And that you can prepare here what you are doing. You are preparing any topic logically, based on logical arguments. And the time you write there in essay, any examiner will give you maximum marks because you know how the examiner loves logic, which you present in a logical way things which are asked from you. So this also helps you in preparing essay lot. And then philosophy is very interesting subject. Now you will enjoy the subject. No other subject you can enjoy the way you can enjoy the subject philosophy. Why? Why you will enjoy the subject philosophy? The first reason that in philosophy you will be studying some such issues, some social, some political issues, which are directly related to your life and your thinking. So you always have the interest to know some more and more things. When I start engaging classes, then my students forget the time when time lapses because it is of so interest the subject that they go on thinking what next, what next. That's the point. And you will find one existentialist Sartre, you might have heard his name. He will present before you, he will present before you the main say type of thinking logically, that how you can be the happiest person in the world. I can guarantee that the time you study this philosophy of Sartre existentialism, from that time always you will have a smile on your face. Why? Because he teaches not just a preaching he gives. He teaches on the basis of logic that if you will have this attitude, you can be the happiest person in the world. Who does not want to become happiest person? So that's the point. These are certain points which have made this philosophy subject very, very interesting. That is another important feature of the best optional for guaranteed success in central services examination. That is, you are not, you can very easily understand things. Now, if philosophy had all these, which I have explained, then there will be a natural question. And the natural question is that then please let us know what is this philosophy. If as I have spoken to every one of you, one question, why do only few? Achha, this question I have answered, Onkar. Yeah. Now the thing is that you can just ask me. It's very natural that, sir, when you are saying that philosophy is the only optional subject which is most suitable for scoring very high marks in IS examination, then definitely you all will like to know what sort of subject is this that I am talking about. What is philosophy? What are the contents of philosophy, which I have already just told you and you have seen. These are the contents of philosophy which you are going to study in the syllabus. So they are very, very interesting themselves, but this is definitely that you must know what is philosophy. So now I shall draw your attention and concentration on it, that the meaning and nature of philosophy, this I am going to explain. Listen carefully, so that you may not have any wrong idea about the subject philosophy, as general people who do not know philosophy carry some different attitude towards philosophy. So, the meaning and nature of philosophy. The word philosophy is composed of two Greek words, philo plus sophia. This word philo means love, and sophia means knowledge and wisdom. So, the literal meaning of the word philosophy is love for wisdom. love for knowledge. This is the literal meaning of the term philosophy. Now, the Hindi word of philosophy is darshana. And darshana, there is one question by Durgesh. Is there less scope for using flow charts, etc., in answers in this optional and mostly parawhite answers suffice? Yeah, parawhite answers suffice. But Durgesh, you can use also chart somewhere wherever it is needed. Say, for example, when I go on discussing hierarchy of ideas, I give the chart there. So sometimes that you have to give. Yeah, what I was talking, the Hindu word of philosophy is dasana. And the word dasana means the vision of truth. It stands for the direct, immediate, and intuitive vision of reality and truth. So, even the Hindi of philosophy is darshana, and darshana also means the vision of truth. And a direct, immediate, and intuitive vision and knowledge of truth and reality of the entire universe. So, this what is the literal meaning of the term philosophy. So, what this philosophy is going to tell you? The ultimate truth of this entire universe, the knowledge of where from this world has come. These are certain issues which are some of basic issues also of this philosophy. So, this is what the literal sense of philosophy is. Now, keeping in view of this literal sense of philosophy, now there is a definition of philosophy. Now, see, I'm going to present before you a definition of philosophy which will make you feel that how beautiful, how important, how helpful this subject is. The definition of philosophy is that philosophy is defined as a rational, impartial, and systematic study to explain the and experience of universe and life. So, as a whole, this is the definition of philosophy. Again, to repeat, listen carefully. Philosophy is defined as a rational, impartial, and systematic study of universe and life as a whole. Now, if you understand the meaning of these concepts which are contained in this definition, then you can very easily understand what is philosophy. So, the first thing, the first term which is contained in the definition is it is a rational. So, the first point is philosophy is a rational study. Now, you will try to know. Yes, one question, Ananya. Sir, what is the correct approach to study philosophy plus your view on IGNOU philosophy material? Yeah, material is good, but then the point is that you need materials of that sort which should fit in the approach and treatment of philosophy or for that matter any subject in the central services examination. So that is needed. That should be the matter should be in that form that can help you in writing answer the way the questions are asked in central services examination. Got it? So that everything you will get, nothing to worry for that, right? Now come. The first thing is in the definition that philosophy is a rational study. What does it mean? This means that in philosophy, we accept only those ideas, those views which are based on rational justifications. So there is no room for faith and belief in philosophy. It is on account of this that philosophy differs from religion. Because in religion, you are always just having some faith and belief in certain things. But it is not here. Yeah, Utkarsh, how to improve writing skills? Uh, yeah, that you will do. I will let you know everything. How you will improve? Nothing worry for that. Let me finish this. Yeah, that is only way to write, and write, not only write in a format, and the entire format I know. I shall let you know that in which format when you will write you will score 70-80% marks. That's the main point that you have to understand. Contents most of the people know, but how to write, definitely only a few know, and they can clear examination. That I shall let you know the entire formatting. This is how to write introduction, how to set body, how to write comments, how to make a stand. Everything I go and explain to my students. Nothing to worry for that. Yeah. So the first point is that it is a rational study. There is no far faith and belief in philosophy. So philosophy differs from religion because in religion we accept everything on the basis of faith and belief. The second point is that philosophy is an impartial study. Now see what is subject philosophy is. It is an impartial study. The time you start studying anything from the point of view of philosophy, then you have to have impartial study of the subject. Even if that you are have certain affiliation or alliance with that topic, what I am talking, have you understood? Suppose you are going to tell from philosophy point of view about your own culture, about your own religion. Then when you are doing this thing from the point of view of philosophy, then you will have to speak both merits and demerits of your culture. Not that since it is your culture, so you will speak only on the merits of your culture. No, that's not a philosophy. Philosophy doing means it is an impartial study. And there you have to be neutral. You cease to be the member of a particular religion, culture, or caste. You are above all these when you start doing philosophy. So, whatever you find in that particular culture or religion which you are studying from philosophical point of view, that you will go on, that you will go on speaking both merits and demerits of that. That is what we say an impartial study. So this is the second important feature of philosophy is that it is an impartial study. The first one is it is a rational study, no scope for any kind of belief, no scope for any kind of presupposition, no scope for any kind of faith. Everything is based on reason and rational grounds. And the second is it is an impartial study. You are like a judge when you are doing a speaking on any topic from philosophical point of view. What you are just like a judge. What a judge does, he is a neutral person. He gives judgment just without considering the caste, creed, religion, this and that. That precisely what you are. You will be acting like a judge when you are talking on any topic from the point of view of philosophy. The third is that philosophy is a systematic study. This is also very important that in philosophy, certain central questions are asked in philosophy. And philosophers go on answering these questions. And whatever become their answers, they take the form of these philosophical theories. And these philosophical theories we study in the syllabus. So the point is, which I am trying to make, the point is that this philosophy study had a direction. It is not a haphazard study. It is not a casual study. Yeah. So what we find, yeah, one Utkarsh is asking what should be the strategy for working professionals for this. Yeah, a strategy is there. Not to worry for that. The timing, the subject which I'm introducing, that it will not be very difficult to have the strategy for professionals also. So now, this what I am talking, this is that philosophy is a systematic study. So, why it is a systematic study? Because there are some central questions which are fixed in philosophy, and philosophers go on answering them. And then their answers take the form of philosophical theory which you are going to study. So, it is not a casual study, it is not a haphazard study, it is a systematic study. And the fourth eight, the aim of philosophical study is to explain the universe and life. This eight, the aim of the study of philosophy to explain the universe and life. That is also true. But the point is that this universe and life are the subject matters of the study of philosophy. Every subject had its subject matters to a study, all of you know. And here the subject matter of the study is one usually asking, sir, presently I am a final year BA philosophy student. Will it benefit me if I pursue MA also in philosophy? That you can do, no problem there. But at the same time, you also prepare for this IS examination, right? So, sound is okay. Okay, sound is not coming. Sound, just how is the sound? Is it okay? Hello? Yes, the sound is okay. Yeah. So now, this the 50 inverse and life are subject matters of philosophy. Okay. Uh, yes, sir. Fine. Okay, Utkarsh, thank you. So these are the subject matters of philosophy. What are the subject matters of philosophy? Inverse and life. But listen carefully. But these are also subject matters of science. Science also studied the same inverse and the same life. So the question is then what is the difference between the study of science and the study of philosophy when both have to study the same subject matters? The difference is that science studied inverse and life part-wise, piecemeal. Example, physics will study only physical phenomena. Chemistry will study only chemicals. Botany will study only plants. But philosophy studied the universe as a whole, not part-wise. Philosophy will study the life as a whole, not part-wise. This is the difference between the study of science and the study of philosophy. Philosophy will present a holistic view of the whole world. And it is on account of this that philosophy differs from science. And you must also know right now that this question is asked in interview board of ICE examination. The time they will come to know that you are a student of philosophy, they will ask you, tell me what is the difference between philosophy and religion? Then what is the difference between philosophy and science? At least one question must be asked from you. So what I am lecturing today, from that you will keep in your mind that you are going to face this question in the interview board. So what I was talking, that this is the difference, that both, this philosophy and science, both study the same inverse and life, but their way of studying becomes different. that science studies part-wise, where this philosophy studies as a whole of the subject. This is the point there. And so, just example I have given, this physical, then chemistry studies that way. It is on account of this that philosophy differs from science on this point. And his attitude to it is not to be identified with that of scientists and confines itself to this or that aspect of existence. It's not philosophy that will confine itself to any particular subject or the particular part of the universe and life. Rather, it will study the whole universe and life. So, here also we find the special feature of philosophy. And come to the sixth, philosophy applied as a whole method to study its subject. Now, what does it mean? Every subject, listen everyone, every subject applied certain method to study certain its subject. Now, there are two kinds of method. One is analytical, and the second is as a whole. These are the two kinds of methods. In analytical method, one studies its object by analyzing that object into its different elements. This is known as the analytical method to study any object. This method is applied by science because you find that science studied these objects just by analyzing them into its different elements in the laboratory. So that applied analytical method. But the other method is a whole method that is applied by philosophy. Philosophy studies the entire universe and life as a whole. That method is applied. So this is again the second difference between philosophy and science, that we find that it applied as a whole method to study the entire thing. So what you find that, say for example, suppose I hold a rose in my hand. I ask you, what is this? If you are a student of science, you will come to me, pick the rose from my hand, you will go to the laboratory, you will analyze that rose, and then you will come with a piece of paper, sir, look, this what you are holding in your hand. And that piece of paper contains the elements which are contained in this rose. This is known as scientific method, analytical method, which is applied by science. But if you are a student of philosophy, from there itself you will say, sir, that object which you have kept in your hand, that is a beautiful, fragrant flower known as rose. This is what we call as a whole method, as a whole study. So this what you find, these are the different features of what we call this philosophy. So once you know these six features, you know what is philosophy, nothing more, nothing hidden about philosophy. What are those? Set in your mind: rational study, impartial study, systematic, a studied inverse life, and its method is as a whole. And the main objective is to explain the inverse and life. That's precisely what we find there. Then, well, one question is waiting for you, what I have discussed by now. Now you just answer, then I shall also discuss some more things. What are the features of philosophy? This is the way how I teach my students. That whatever I teach, I expect from them that many things you have just fixed in your memory. So this is the question I have given to you. What are the features of philosophy? The one is it is easily comprehensible, it has short syllabus, it is high marks scoring. Second is it is comprehensible, has short syllabus, high marks scoring, and interesting. Third, it is comprehensible, has short syllabus, high marks scoring, supports to prepare GS and essay, and interesting. And fourth, it is interesting, has short syllabus, supports GS papers to prepare. So, what I'm just asking you that you will give the correct answer to this. Good. Yes, yes, very good. Most of you have given very correct answer that this had philosophy had these features, and this is the study which is comprehensive, then had short syllabus. This had marked the third answer is the correct answer. Supports to prepare GS and essay. And most important part is it is very, very interesting. You will definitely see when these philosophers will start talking to you, you will be thrilled that what this philosopher, how this philosopher has come to my life, to know my life. That what you sort of thrill you will get in philosophy. Now come this, what this Unacademy is going to do for you. It is just we are going to start this course from 29th of June 2020, this optional too. And then full year batch course, fully syllabus coverage, fully syllabus coverage will be there. Top educators, now you can judge who is the top educators, but definitely we can tell whatever we have experienced. And then prelims and mains test series with analysis that you are going to get PDF study materials. Oh, fine. That also we are providing you. Then dedicated doubt clearing sessions that you have already seen. That my attention was also there to see what's your doubt. Yeah. So that the one is asking about the books. That there are certain books which I shall prescribe to you, but that you will study just for your satisfaction. But you will have to concentrate on the materials which we people are providing to you, and the lectures which we are giving to you. But anyway, that also you will be doing. Then there is the interview preparations that also we are going to provide. So these are certain important things which this Unacademy is going to provide to you. So the time you join and subscribe, then in that case you will find that very easily you can have all these things before you. And this is I'm Avinash Sinha, and whoever is just going to subscribe for the course, I shall just suggest you that you use my referral code. That is Dr. Avinash Sinha. This is my referral code. You will use this referral code, then you will get a 10% discount in the entire, the fees that you are going to deposit. So these are certain important things which you are required to know. And the most important part which I can guarantee from my side that whenever and whatever question from any field, from anywhere in philosophy, if that comes in your mind, you ask me anytime. Because this head contains, for God's grace, everything which is done in philosophy by now. Because as I told you, I lived in philosophy. So the answer will be given to you. Now, with this, but I'm just going to close my present session, and then again next day I shall be meeting you with that the plus course, and also in the special uh, courses and classes I shall be there with you. With this, I thank you to everyone.